Hello everyone, I'm really glad that you are back with me on this channel. In today's video I decided to draw an illustration from the Harry Potter movie. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter and no Christmas is complete without this movie. I decided to speed up this tutorial so that you can quickly watch how I draw, but I will still try to explain what exactly I'm doing. So first I decided to draw simple shapes. I took our reference and outlined them in blue. I don't do this very often, but sometimes it's a great help, especially for the beginners. After that, I opened our layers, deleted the reference and moved the simple shapes to the corner so that they don't disturb us while we are drawing the sketch. I chose a brownish color and started drawing. So all we have to do here is simply to draw the same simple shapes, and that's it. So we created here our 3 suitcases. To draw our sketch, I used the sketch brush. On the right side, we have not only a suitcase, but also a leather bag, so don't forget to draw it. Sometimes I want to draw very quickly, but I often forget myself in the details. I often spend unnecessary time or too much time on details that are completely unnecessary at this stage. So now we go to the left side of the illustration and draw some suitcases here. After we have drawn simple shapes, we need to add some details. I add details to each object. On the suitcase, it is the coat of arms, for example. As you can see, I don't spend a lot of time on the coat of arms at all. I draw, so to speak, generally. That is, I don't stick out every animal of each faculty. I just draw a few scribbles and yeah, this is how I save time. When drawing details, compare everything with your reference. On the left side as well as on the right side, I draw the locks and the handles on the suitcases. I also drew our leather bag that we didn't draw right away. Our draft sketch is finished. After we are done with our draft sketch, I open the layers and reduce the layer opacity. I make it more transparent, and after that I open a new layer. I leave the color and the brush the same. Now I just outline our draft sketch more carefully and neatly. I don't make perfect lines because I don't have the goal of making a realistic illustration. So I decided to speed up this process as well. I actually really like this stage because this is the stage where we get a beautiful illustration that can even be used without any color. By the way, I will add all the colors to the color palette, which you can then download by clicking on the link in the description. After we've outlined our draft sketch with a brush, I open the colors and drag them down to make them easier and faster to select. After that, I select the marker brush and create a new layer. I also delete the draft sketch layer. Usually I start with the base color, that is, I first painted our suitcase orange and then began to add shadows. I really like to draw leather because this is the texture which is drawn pretty quickly and looks quite impressive while taking very less time to draw it. Since you are now watching this tutorial, then you are most likely also a Harry Potter fan of some degree. So please tell me in the comments which movie is your favorite one and why. I actually can't decide which of the movies is my favorite, but I think that the third part of Harry Potter is my favorite, namely The Prisoner of Azkaban, although I really like the first part as well. In this illustration, unlike in other illustrations, to draw strong shadows, I use a sketch brush. Here you can see it when I draw the joint between the lid and the bottom of the suitcase, as well as where a very strong and dark shadow falls. By the way, for each object that I paint, I create a new layer. After that, I outline the object with the base color, and then I select the alpha lock function. And after that, I proceed to shadows and the light. When highlighting, I add mostly white, but as you could already see, I also added some yellow on our big suitcase. So I think the more colors you add to your illustration, the juicier and the more vivid it will become. Now I have started drawing our greenish or bluish leather bag. I like painted it so much that I decided to leave the stage completely in this tutorial. That is, as you can see, it is quite easy to achieve this realistic leather texture. All you need to do is add clear, strong shadows and very bright highlights. I also like the metal parts in this illustration. Just like the leather, the metal texture is also easy and quick to achieve. Now we have finished painting our suitcases. Now I'm starting to paint the train. First I apply the basic colors and then I add shadows and the light. Of other objects, we only have to paint the cage. I draw it with a basic gray color, then I select the alpha lock function and randomly add almost black and white colors. Don't forget to color the gray-brown leather back. I colored it pretty quickly and yeah, I don't think there is anything complicated about it. Here we have my two favorite textures, namely leather texture and the metal texture. So it was pretty fun to draw. Well, it was generally a lot of fun for me to draw this illustration as I love all the textures in here, like stone, metal, leather, simply everything. And now we just have to draw the tunnel and the floor. So I painted the darkest places, namely the junctions of the stones, with a sketch brush, and then with a marker brush I added black, greenish and white colors with some random strokes. And the tunnel itself I filled with a black color. And now we proceed to the stones on the floor. We add very dark shadows directly under our objects, and with some random strokes comparing with the reference, we draw this texture of the stone. And that's it. As you can see, our illustration is ready. You can leave it like this, but I would like to add a little more light. To do this, I open a new layer above all the layers, and I take the brush named Pencil 6B, and on top of all the layers I add white color in those places where the light falls the most. I also add some strokes to the suitcases, and that's it. Our illustration is ready. If you ask me, I like it and I hope you do too. Please share in the comments what tutorials you would like to see in the future. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't want to miss any tutorial. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!